Say you're ready for this.
If you're ready for this,
say you're ready for this.
Are you ready for this? We're ready for this. Are you ready for this? We're ready for this. Where we just can't miss.
We just can't miss.
Where we just can't miss.
With a beat like this.
It's the joy. I was sitting in my house watching my TV when all of a sudden it dawned on me that I was all alone, just wasting my time. So I grabbed a pen and paper and wrote down a rhyme. And I thought to myself how nice it would be on top, making cash money, to go on a tour all around the world, to tell a little story to all the fly girls, to sit on my throne, to command my own, to be number one on the microphone, just telling a tale about how it's gonna be for the funky 4+1 MCs. We'll be busting in and we'll be turning it out while we rock to any beat without a doubt. Just chilling hard, living in luxury, and being very proud to be an MCs. He's the joy.
Why you said my group was the first organized group, which is true. We are the first organized group in hip hop. So Flash had 3 MCs. Keith Cowboy, God bless the dead. Melly Mel, who is now Grandmaster Melly Mel, and his older brother, Kid Creole. And the first person I heard here on the mic was Keith Cowboy. Keith Cowboy was that party starter. Keith Cowboy would be like your current day Fat Man Scoop or, you know, who else does like that party thing? But Busy B.
Busy B.
So we can say like the hype man.
He would be the first hype man.
Right, there you go. Yep.
Right. Then I saw Mel and Creole do a back and forth.
Right.
Right? And prior to that, my brother, God bless the dead, Perry B, he came home with Hustlers Convention, which was written by and produced by one of the brothers from the Lost Poets.
Wow.
And
Legendary.
the story is true. It's written in rhyme form with music behind it. So this is like basically my first hip hop record that I'm hearing.
That you're hearing. Like
It's not hip hop the way we did it. You know, it's not rapping the way we did it.
Right.
But he's rhyming.
That's your introduction
Right.
to
So I would sneak in my brother's room and play this record when he wasn't home, and I mastered, you know, the technique of writing rhymes.
I'm sure he knows now.
I go in the park. I go in the park and I see Cowboy. Then after Cowboy, Mel and his brother, and I say, I could do that. Not only can I do that, I could do that shit well. So I went home and started putting pen to paper. You know what I mean? Started with a group called the Magnificent Seven, and these guys were guys who lived in my neighborhood. My best friend's name was Kevin Hardy. He introduced me to Mr. Stephen Washington, who we called the Magnificent Stevie Steve, because he was the first person that I seen spin back 45s. The little 45, not the giant 45.
Not the giant one.
The little 45.
The little
and
disc.
he was the first one that I've seen, so we gave him the name The Magnificent. We put together a group. It was actually 8 of us, but we called ourselves the Magnificent Seven. There's also a Magnificent Seven that comes out of Harlem, with Stevie Ray, with Rayvon and Spivey and G-Man and all of them. That's another story. Okay, so I start with them, the Magnificent Seven. It's 4 MCs, 3 DJs, and a record man. These guys, I love them to life, but they wasn't living it like I was living it. Cause I really wanted to be somebody in this industry, and I don't think that they had the same love for it that I did. You know what I mean? And then I got an opportunity to audition for Breakout and the Funky Four, and I took it. Another member of the group, Jazzy Jeff, he left with me. We went and auditioned. Basically, they didn't want Jeff. They only wanted me. But me and Jeff had made a pact before we got there. If they don't take you, I ain't gonna do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Loyalty.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So basically,
That's what it sounds like.
That
You know,
well,
I wasn't there, so.
no, I mean,
Yeah,
you know.
but yeah. I got you, King. I got you.
So,
Yeah.
we end up becoming actually Breakout's birthday gift. Breakout's, we got down with Breakout July 11th, 79. that was Breakout's birthday. That was the first event that we played with them. And, you know, I had a 22-month run with them. And then after that, we kind of disbanded. You know, and so I'm sure you're going to ask me about that, and we'll talk about that.
Absolutely.
Well, I hope everybody's paying attention because this is some serious
Definitely.
hip hop history.
Yeah, real quick.
There's a legend in the building. Let us know where it began, how it started,
It's something
and
serious.
how we're moving. So before we went on break, he was going to tell us about how the female hip hop artist Shy-Rock got into the group. How did that work? How did that start?
And keep in mind, y'all was the first group to have that. So,
Right, we're the first group with a female.
Something serious.
And she's the first female of hip hop. Now, remember, I was with Magnificent Seven, ended up leaving that group and going to the Funky Four. But before I get to the Funky Four, there's already a Funky Four. And the first MC with Brothers Disco is KK Rockwell. And he was called the voice of KK. Then they recruited Keith Caesar. And then after Keith, Shy-Rock came into the group. And after Shy-Rock, they recruited Raheem, who eventually ended up going to Grandmaster Flash in the Furious 5. So they were the first four, and they was the original Funky Four. And that's KK Rockwell, Keith, Shy-Rock, and Raheem. What ends up happening is Raheem either leaves the group or he gets fired. Now, depending on who you're talking to, you're going to get two different stories, but he departs. Shy-Rock, she quits in protest because she didn't want Raheem to leave the group, so they left KK and Keith. KK went to school with Jazzy Jeff and myself, so we all went to the same high school, so he was familiar with the Magnificent Seven. He liked us. Our record man, Kevin Kev, my best friend, Kevin Hardy, he and Pookie D. And Pookie D was Breakout's record man. So they both played on the same basketball teams. So when the group kind of split, I got the word from my man, like, yo, they holding auditions. You might need to go try out. So me and Jazzy Jeff, we went in audition. And then we became the new Funky Four, which was KK, Keith, myself, and Jeff. And then 2 weeks later, Shy-Rock came back, and she became the Plus One More. So she was originally one of the Funky Four, but she lost her spot because she left. And then when she came back, we didn't want to change the name to Funky Five. So it was Funky Four plus one more. Now, we do have two names. Some people know us as Funky Four plus one more. Some people know us as Funky Four plus one. When we signed to Enjoy Records, we were Funky Four plus one more. When we signed with Sugar Hill, she changed our name.
Okay.
And we became Funky Four plus one. So, you know, so when I introduce myself, I always say both. Funky Four plus one more.
Yeah.
Funky Four plus one. Most people don't even understand why, but...
Right. But that's the story, basically.
Yeah,
that's the backstory.
I remember a time we had did a show out in Queens, and I had met Mr. Magic for the first time. Mr. Magic ran up on us like after we had did the show, and he was like, "Hey, you guys, you were great. I'm the first guy to break your record," and I was like, "You bought it," because I didn't understand the radio lingo. He was talking
Terminology,
about,
yeah.
that he was talking about playing it on the radio. We ended up going home that night, turning on the radio, and Rapping and the Rockin' comes on the radio, and he was playing it. You know, so shout outs to Mr. Magic.
Can we get a little acapella from you, a little live something?
Right now.
Bring us back. Right now. Right now. Bring us back.
Unprompted.
Buddy.
We in for a treat. Wait, let me get my phone ready. Hold on. Wait. All right.
Where is Lucy's at?
I mean, I keep a 16 on safety, but
My brother's ready. He said he got 16s on deck.
I keep a 16 on safety. How
so
about it?
okay. Here I go. Back in the 70s, I was the source, designer of the rhyme, and I set the course for all the other MCs that would be lost without the masterpieces made by the boss. 4 decades is my career. I'm a living legend and a pioneer. Other MCs I do not fear. I rock the mic better when I know I'm the best on the microphone, you must be told. I could never be bought or even sold. I was one of the 4. We were down by law. I said the funky. And we had a +1 more. Yes, we had a lady that could rock the spot. Girl with the pearl, we called Shy Rock. She made the fellas jump. Without a doubt, we made the young lady scream as we turned it out.
Are you rocking? Ain't got no balls on the